All right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be working on my version of a Gabion basket wall using some cheaper materials. We have more continuation on this pond behind me, but on the one side we're going to put a Gabion basket wall, which is going to help make the pond a little bigger than the like the gentle slope to the top. But a Gabion basket wall is basically a wire form that's completely encompasses the infill material. Usually it's rock. And so it's like all four sides, the bottom, and there's a top that closes after you infill and wire it shut. So I'm going to do something a little different. That Gabion baskets are, expensive on their own, and then also the infill is usually, rock ballast, something heavy that's going to hold the basket in place and kind of withstand the earth pressure behind it. So but in my case, rock down here in South Georgia is expensive. We don't have any rock here close to the surface, so we got to get our rocks shipped in by a train or a ship, something like that, and it's just not feasible, economically, really. So I got a different method I'm going to use. So we're going to be using some cattle panels and some concrete cylinders that I got. So I'm going to show you a little bit closer what I got going on, and so let's get going. Okay, so here is the wire form that I'm going to be using. It's got this wood around it, but I'll explain that later. But right now we have a 4-foot tall, so it's a 4-foot tall cattle panel here by 16-foot long cattle panel that I got from Tractor Supply. So what we have to do here is bend this into the form. And that's what this wood is for. I'm going to attach all this and then get some help to try to bend it. But you have to bend it lengthwise. So it's a 2x2 L shape. So I'll explain that a little bit later. And then when you'll see it, it kind of would make sense. So that L shape is what's going to hold the ballast in place. And obviously your ballast has to be larger than the openings here. So I'm going to use the smaller openings on the face. Then it'll have these two as well, which are going to be part of the 2-foot kind of ends, maybe like right here when we bend it. So this is like a 6-inch hole, and so it's just under 6 inches, which is great because the ballast I have is 16-inch or is 6-inch cylinders that are going to not go through the hole here. So I'm going to show you the ballast that I have right here. These are concrete cylinders. And this is from a concrete testing company in town. They test concrete in different size cylinders. So you have your 6x12s over here and then 4x8s. These 4x8s are much more common, at least where we are. So I have a lot more of those. The bigger ballast at the front, and then in the back that's going to fill up the back of the panel is going to have the smaller stuff. So again, this was all free. Got a bunch of these and took them home. And so I think I'll probably still need more, but anyway, so that is the ballast is all free concrete. So it just took the time to transport it here to the house. Okay, here we are all ready to get the panel bent in half. I have my 2 helpers coming to help me out. So we're each gonna be on one of these boards here and gonna push up on it. And because we're all pushing up, I need something to kind of keep it down, and that's on this side of the panel. I just have these 4 buckets filled with dirt. A little closer is here is kind of right at the hinge point. I bought these hinges, and that's going to kind of concentrate where it's going to be bent. And then I have this board on top screwed down, which is going to hopefully act as a pretty solid, bend point that the panel is going to want to bend on. And then on the part that we're messing with, that we're going to pick up, is these long boards here are going to, hopefully press on the bottom part of the panel kind of evenly and make that bend right at a point and not kind of round it off. So this is all just in theory. I've never done this before, but we'll see how it works. And then we got to bend a few more after this. So I'm just going to wait for my help to get here, and then we'll show you how it does. All right. So I put these buckets on here to keep the whole thing from picking up. But let's just go, and we'll go kind of slow. And it should bend pretty All right, David, push up a little more. We're going to try to make it 90 degrees. So here, Jonah, you grab mine. Yeah, okay, that's good. David, don't go any farther. You may have to like over bend it so it wants to come back to 90. Okay, what do you think? What, a little more? Yeah. Okay. Okay, now let's all right, I think we're good here. Let's, you know, it's pretty 90 degrees in there. The one, you know, area that it, you know, I didn't have enough boards to kind of make this full continuous across the back. So the very end it kind of rounds a little bit. But to give you an idea, you know, this flat board, you know, this 2x4 is pushing against multiple vertical parts of wire, and so it bends it across this board on the bottom, so it makes a nice you know, it tries to make a nice 90 degrees. So I think that was the key. So quick cut from the last video. I was leveling out the bottom of this. I was trying to race the rain, and I kind of beat it. I got it all level and ready, but I could not get the wire form in there and all the ballast and everything. So so now it's a little bit of water in the bottom, maybe a ½ inch or so. But it's going to be hard to show you guys what I'm kind of doing down there. And so I wanted to I kind of set up a little bit up here so you can get a good idea of how to build one of these yourself. So this is the wire form. I ended up cutting it into a 10-foot stick instead of 16-foot, just so it's a little easier to work with. And I lose a little bit because I'll have to overlap it when I put the next one on, but you know, that's fine. And then to make corners, which I'll end up doing, making curves, is you'll just kind of snip the backs of these, and then you can kind of bend the whole thing to do like an inside curve or an outside curve, either one. You're not going to cut the front piece, you're going to cut the bottom part of the L, that way it can turn. But I wanted to show you guys kind of the ballast side of it. This is all what I'm working with here. I have these 6x12 cylinders in the front. They kind of are big enough so it doesn't come out of the aperture holes in this wire form. And then I have the 4x8s in the back. So it's just a real small bit. Obviously there's going to take a lot of these to fill this up, but this is what's going to be doing all the work, holding it down and just using the weight of these things to kind of hold back the dirt. So should work, fingers crossed. And then in the back there I have a some weed stop fabric, and there's different types of these, but this is like, you know, you can tell it's almost like see-through. It kind of feels like felt a little bit. And so what that's going to do is, this is another major part of this, is I'm going to roll this out along the back behind all of the ballast when it's in, and you'll have like a wall of dirt right here. And so you don't want that dirt, even after you backfill it in, you don't want it to fill in the ballast. So when you look here, you're going to have some voids in between it, you know, that are going to get filled up. But you don't want that to come from the back and, you know, kind of muddy up this ballast. You want to kind of keep it as clean as possible. It may end up coming from the front when it gets submerged in the pond and, you know, particulates and stuff get up in there. But this weed stop is going to keep the soil from coming into the back of the ballast, but also it'll allow the water to come through. So you don't want that water, you don't want like something like plastic that keeps that water build up behind the wall. So anyway, so this is kind of a quick, you know, rundown on what this is. Also, this is the wire that I got. It's a pretty thick wire, and this is to keep the L shape of the wire form. I'm probably going to do that maybe every 3-4 feet or so along the length. We'll kind of see how it how it looks, because the wider the gap, the more kind of bulging is going to happen in the face of it. So anyway, this is a quick rundown of what it's going to be. So I'm going to start placing this in the hole there, and then we'll start just putting ballast in there. All right, guys, we're coming back to the site, the project site here. It's been several days. We've had a lot of rain here recently, as you can see in the bottom, but I have been able to kind of complete it somewhat. So we have the wire basket. You can see the front. You can kind of get an idea of how the front face is going to look when this is all done. And but right now, the issue I'm running into is that this, you can tell here when we get closer, that the back is higher than the front. And so what I have are these buckets with just kind of broken up infill. And so this is just like broken cylinders that we're going to remove this back row, likely in some areas, and then just put that like kind of almost like it's gravel fill on there to level it out, because we want the next basket to kind of sit on the top nice and level all the way across. Even though it's not quite to the top of the basket, the next one I'm going to offset a little behind, and so it doesn't, the baskets don't have to sit on top of each other. So anyway, I'm going to remove this this kind of back row of cylinders and put that infill in. So here it is, and you can see we're just about level across. And again, you're not going to see this, you're just going to see the face of the thing. And so that's why I didn't put the gravel all the way to the front of the wire basket, because it's just going to fall out potentially as it, as the life of this goes on. The water goes up and down, it may pull some of that gravel out of the face. So anyway, so I think it is good to go. And then you see this weed stop fabric on the back. What that's going to do is keep this dirt from the back, filling in all the voids in this wall. And we don't want that. We just want to keep it separate. So right now I have it kind of draped over the back. We're going to throw it over the top of this wire baskets as we do some more excavating so the dirt doesn't fall down in here. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. This was to see if this proof of concept would work. If you could build a Gabion basket wall with a lot cheaper materials. We were able to get some cattle panels from Tractor Supply. We bent them in half, kind of into an L shape, wired it to maintain that L shape, and then got some concrete cylinders from a local concrete testing company for free. They just throw them away. So it took some trips with the truck to get them here, but I was able to use it as ballast inside this wall, and we were able to get it level and set, ready to go. So I have a lot more digging to do on this pond, but that gives a kind of a proof of concept. If you are needing a Gabion basket wall in your yard and don't really want to spend all this money on the baskets and then all the stone infill, there's a cheaper option. Maybe not necessarily the prettiest option, but it's definitely something that gets the job done. So I'm going to continue on this pond. We're going to keep digging today. We're going to have a future video of kind of the finishing up of this pond and Gabion basket wall. So appreciate you sticking around for this video. See you on the next one.